YouTube, what it do, baby? As you already seen from the title, today's video is how to sell life insurance to veterans. Now, this might come off as like a crazy concept. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this before or if you do this. Don't mind the headphone bump in my hair. I just got done working. But the reason I wanted to make this video today is because I've been selling life insurance for over a year and 3 months now. And for the majority of my time as a broker selling life insurance, I have sold to veterans. Now, it's I would say it's a pretty niche market. Excuse me moving the camera all over the place. I'm trying to find a good angle here with the lighting and get everything set up correctly. I guess that's just gonna have to do for today's video. I know usually I'm downstairs in the basement, but I didn't really feel like going down today. I just got done working, like I said, so it is what it is. As I was saying, I think it's actually very important that we sell life insurance to veterans, simply because a lot of veterans, they don't know what they have. A lot of veterans, unfortunately, are misinformed in the fact that they think that they just get tons of free life insurance through the military. They think that they'll just be buried for free. Yeah, I mean, those are the two biggest things, I guess. They think they'll get a hell of free life insurance or they'll be buried for free, which both of those are untrue. I could tell you right now. So after they get out of the military, they either have the VGLI or they have VA life, right? So VGLI is actually an increasing policy. So their premiums going up every 5 years. I feel like this is too high now. So their premiums are actually going up every 5 years. And if you're selling to veterans, then I think, you know, this is necessary information, because that's going to be their number one rebuttal, that they have VGLI. So what happens is when they're in the military, they get the SGLI, which is the service group life insurance. And then once they leave, they get the VGLI, the veterans group life insurance. So the coverages go from $10,000 to $500,000. It cannot exceed the coverage amount of the SGLI that they had while they were in the military. They have to get their VGLI within 240 days of leaving the military. If they didn't do that, a lot of them just think they're automatically enrolled into it, but if they didn't actually apply for it within those 240 days, then they're no longer eligible for it. It is a renewable term policy. So like I was saying just a second ago, every 5 years, the rates change based on their ages. There is a VGLI price chart that you can look up online. It'll literally show you their age, and it'll show you how much coverage they have, and then you just line it up and you can see exactly how much they're paying for however much coverage they have. You can see, I'll actually look it up right now, VGLI price chart. When you're looking at this chart, I mean, it's kind of crazy how it spikes up on them. This is approved for 4/1/2021, where the maximum amount of insurance was $400,000. So for example, a 50-year-old would be paying $132 a month, and then once we get to 55, almost doubles and goes to $240 a month. Once we get to 60, $396 a month. So now we're at $400. 65 is $588. Age 70 is $900 a month. Age 75 is $1,700 a month for this coverage. And I mean, typically a veteran, I mean, I guess it really depends on their service history and their, types of disabilities or injuries, anything like that, on how long they live. But one thing is for sure, nobody can be affording to pay $1,700 a month for life insurance. So a lot of them, they don't even know that this is happening. The VA is taking this money straight out of their disability checks or pension checks. So they're not even seeing the money. It's just, like I said, it's taken straight out. The coverage does not build any type of cash value. So, I mean, it'll pay if they die, but no cash value, nothing that they can use while they're alive, no living benefits, no critical chronic terminal illness rider, no accidental death benefits, no dividend payouts either. So when they're paying into their policies, some life insurance policies will pay dividends to their policy owners based on, their premiums paid. None of that. So Obviously, these are some of the disadvantages. No borrowing against the policy. There's no level premium option. And typically, if a veteran is in, bad health, and this is a good option for them if they just simply cannot qualify for anything else. But I mean, if there's a veteran in good health, then they could just get a better policy, a term life that has living benefits, or a whole life that'll build a cash value that's guaranteed to pay out with level premiums. So these are some of the things that you need to keep in mind while you're trying to sell to veterans, and because unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's just a matter of fact that a lot of them are very stubborn. Veterans are very stuck in their ways. They feel very entitled, and as they should. I mean, they served our country, and that unfortunately in our country, a lot of the times they don't get the respect and the acknowledgement that they deserve. And they feel some type of way about that. You know what I mean? They feel taken advantage of. They were put into the military at a young age, brainwashed, made into soldiers, and then dumped out when they were done. And that was it. A lot of the times the VA and the government is not really taking care of them the way that they need to. A lot of veterans, unfortunately, they don't have enough money to live. They're not, I mean, you guys have seen all the veterans on the, holding up cardboard signs, veteran homeless, you know what I mean? Not to say that these people are especially entitled, but, they did serve a great deal in spending their lives trying to protect our country. And they should be given respect for that and be paid adequately for that time that they put in. You know what I mean? Now we're going to talk about what burial benefits that veterans do get from the military. So if they want to be buried in a VA national cemetery, this would be completely free. Obviously, they have to meet the requirements. Basically, if they're an active duty or a retired military member with an honorable discharge, or they didn't get dishonorably discharged, then they'll be fine to get buried. So it would include the plot, the grave, the opening and closing of the grave, the care of the burial site. They go around and clean the make sure it's not growing weeds, and clean the tombstone and stuff, the headstone, the burial flag, and a memorial certificate. Now, this is if they are buried in a VA cemetery. If they're not buried in a VA cemetery, then they don't cover the costs. They'll give them a headstone, and they'll give them a flag. If they have a service-related death on or after 9/11, they get $2,000. I mean, $2,000, like, what are we doing with that? You know what I mean? If they have a non-service related death, if they are hospitalized by the VA, it's up to, so this is a maximum of $948. If they are not hospitalized by the VA, up to a maximum of $300. And for the plot, they'll give them up to a maximum of $948. And they must apply for these burial allowances. It's not like the VA is just going to give it to them. They have to apply for these things. A lot of families, they don't know how to take advantage of these programs. They don't take advantage of these programs. And even if they do, I mean, $300, like what? Like, I'm serious. Like, what are you doing with that? Like, that'll cover maybe flowers or something, Like, there's a lot of costs associated with a burial. And like I said, unfortunately, veterans believe that they are entitled to free burials, or they're given a bunch of money by the military, which is simply not true. Even if they are buried in a VA cemetery, the family is still going to have to pay for the embalming or cremation services if they get cremated, the funeral home services like the casket, the flowers, the obituary, the transportation of the body. The vault and liner is not covered by the VA. So now we went over the VGLI for the veterans, what they have with their Veterans Group Life Insurance, how it's an increasing term policy. We went over how they don't get any money for their burial allowances unless they are buried in a VA cemetery. So what options are there for the veterans? First of all, like I said, I mean, a lot of rebuttals will come from these two things. The veterans think they have these things, and unfortunately they don't. So if you can just explain this to them without, being combative with them, just trying to be on their side of things and really try and, like I said, explain it to them nicely and professionally, then they'll hear you out and they'll listen to you, and then they'll see what you have to offer them. And then if they cancel their VGLI and use that money and get it into a level policy, then it's a win-win for both of you guys, right? So if you're a broker, then, the best option is just to get them a private, insurance carrier. Do not be out here selling like Americo or like Ethos or these trash companies that are not beneficial for the client. Like, as a life insurance agent, as a broker, we want to be putting the clients in the best position, and we want to be taking care of ourselves and getting paid quickly and making a smooth process for the family on the back end to be able to claim that money. So do not be lying on the application. I know it's a common theme for people to just spam click no on the application, and just so that they could get more people approved. Please, guys, do not do this. Like, we're trying to actually help people's families out. If you're getting money by scamming people, that's bad energy, bro. You do not want to be doing that. You do not want to be putting that out into the world, because then it's going to come back to you. You know what I mean? Please, actually don't take advantage of these people. A lot of veterans are super kind guys. Like, they have a lot of cool stories. They were left behind in the dust, and I just need somebody to relate to and to take care of them, and we can do that. The good thing about selling to veterans, typically they have higher retirement costs, higher disability. A lot of their medical costs are covered completely free by the VA, so they don't have to worry about any of those things. So this gives them money that they can focus on life insurance. They spent years of their life trying to serve our country, doing a noble duty for us. So their family and protecting their family is on the forefront of their mind. They want to make sure that their family is taken care of, and we can help them do that. You know what I'm saying? So, for your average veteran, I would recommend getting them just a normal whole life policy. Obviously, you need to do your needs analysis and dive deep into their situation and figure out what's actually going to be best for them and their family, whether they need a term life to cover their mortgage, whether they need a universal life or an IUL that's going to build some cash value. And then if you are going to be doing this, then you do need to explain to them how these things work, and not trying to pitch an IUL as a whole life coverage. But you shouldn't be pitching IULs anyways if you don't know how they work. You know what I mean? So all in all, how to sell life insurance to veterans. Typically they think that VGLI is their only option. If you can explain to them the cons of the VGLI and the pros of what we have to offer them, a lot of the times they'll be open to hearing that. Since they don't have to get any medical exams with the VGLI, they don't want to be dealing with that. So get them into a simplified issue policy. You need to be understanding their pain points. A lot of the times they want to get coverage for their spouse or their kids as well. So you can do that for them. Get them the living benefits that the VGLI lacks. Educate them, position the alternative. Make sure that you're keeping, solid control in the appointment. Do not let these guys just walk all over you. They'll have the tendency to do that if you let them. But if you can be, solid in your position as the authority, as you have the license and the life insurance, you went through the testing, the exams, the fingerprinting required, so you know what you're talking about, act like it. Do not, like I said, just let these guys walk all over you. You want to leverage their military mindset, so give them a structured process for the life insurance. Give them the breakdown of what you're going to be doing to help them out in the beginning of the prezo. Make sure that you're using mission-driven language to actually help them protect their family. Explain how these are exclusive benefits for veterans. Address those common objections that I told you about the VGLI. And then for the close, just keep it simple. Assume the sale. Make sure, we got to get you qualified for this. We can go over different closing videos, but it's pretty simple. Not too overwhelming. Don't overwhelm them with a bunch of choices. Finally, final thoughts. I think that's a pretty comprehensive list on how to sell life insurance to veterans. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Remember, VGLI is trash. Do not let them do your research on what they have and how our options and other options will be better for them. But hope this helps. Let me know in the comments. Peace. Josh from the future here. I just got done recording the video, and I was going through editing it, and I just realized I didn't even talk about where to get leads for veterans. So there's a couple different sources that I personally use myself. Uh, I'm not gonna obviously recommend things that I haven't done myself that I've had success with. Number one, lifejacketleads.com. They have veteran leads. They also do term leads. Some guys on my team run those term leads, but I run the veteran leads from there, and I've been banging them. They are $35 a pop, so on the more expensive side. The Cody Askins Kaboom leads also has veteran leads that I just bought a batch of today. Actually, I bought 30 leads for $720. Those leads are $24 a pop with SMS verification, so you'll get no bad numbers. I've used Kaboom leads before in the past, the veterans. I've sold them, done well on them. I'm not exactly sure why I stopped using them because everything was going smooth, but I'm back on them now. I think I'm gonna stick with them because unfortunately with the Life Jacket leads, everything's been good. I've been getting sales off them, high premiums, but the lead flow has been slow, unfortunately. Like I bought 500 of leads on, I want to say Monday or Tuesday. Today's Thursday. I think I've gotten in total like 4 leads in, and like I can't run a business off that. I can't be getting sales off that. I need a higher lead flow than that, and everybody on my team has been experiencing the whole thing. So that's why I'm switching back over to the Kaboom leads. They're better priced. I'm getting more information on the lead that they're filling out, the SMS verification, so it won't be any bad numbers. But if you really want to go ham with the veterans, I would advise investing into the Insurance Advertising Masters course. In there, they'll teach you how to create a Facebook page, a full landing pages, a funnel with a VSL to get booked appointments on your calendars. That is top tier. The course is 8 bands. I was in there for a little bit, and the knowledge is stupendous. How you like that? Stupendous? That's where it's at. But yeah, that's leads for veterans. All right, peace.